Hi, we're Harder Brunch.
We're Harder Brunch.
And we're super excited to tell you about our adult summer camp this August 25th, 26th, and 27th.
Wow.
We're going to be doing a full 3-day festival, and we want you to be a part of it.
Let's go.
It's going to be amazing. We got all your favorite comedians. We got headliners Brent Terhune and Gwen Sunkel on board.
Okay.
We're going to have musical acts by Clint Breeze, House of Wolves, The Tubbles.
Dang.
And all weekend is going to be all inclusive.
Wait, all
That's
inclusive?
right. One ticket price all weekend long gets you into everything. We're going to be bringing back all of the favorite summer camp activities you remember as a kid. We're going to be doing swimming, archery, handicrafts, canoes.
Wow.
All weekend long, all inclusive.
That's not even financially smart.
Well, that's what we're doing. Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com, and we'll see you there.
I guess we'll see you there.
Harder Brunch. Summer camp.
Down. Ooh, I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels, and with me, as always, my co-host, Thaddeus J. McKee.
Slappy Pappy wank wank.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce, boss of Indianapolis, and the last broke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan.
Hey, howdy, hi there.
Hey, we missed you last week.
Yeah, I missed you guys too.
We realized we did the entire episode before we just didn't even address the fact that you weren't there. We were just like, we're in Georgia, and this is happening.
There's
Yeah,
a
that's
new
all
guy.
right.
There's a new producer.
I heard he was like much better. I heard he was like a Zach Plus.
We couldn't get him to move up here was the only problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
We bribed him. We begged him.
yeah. We're
Yep, I bribed him more.
and then two very special first-time guests with us in studio from the Grind Culture Indy. I almost said podcast. Everything's
Who
a
knows,
podcast. Grind Culture Indy. Carly and Macy, welcome to the program.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Very excited. I love doing this podcast because it's an excuse to like learn more about and hang out with people that are doing cool stuff in the city. And when we first started, it was just service industry people and like comics, but we've definitely branched out more and have different kind of artists and people doing stuff. And I have some comedian friends that always like rave about how much fun they have doing grind culture. And it's something where I'm like, it's very intriguing because it's not for men, it's not for dudes. So it adds this layer of mystery to it too. It's like, what are they doing over there? It seems cool, you know.
Secrets.
So we thought as men we could get the word out there.
This is your way in.
Yeah.
Peek behind the curtain. Okay, we get it.
But no, I think it's something very cool, and I'll let you guys speak to it. But I think it's something very cool and unique that you're doing, and I just personally wanted to learn more about it, and I wanted to provide a platform to get the word out because it seems like something that could only benefit from having more people involved.
Totally. Yeah, we always love. I feel like a lot of people find us on Instagram and just kind of show up randomly, and we always love like when new people come. So,
Is there like a greeting for new people? And like,
Well, can you kind of explain what it is first?
sure, we are a skate meetup. So skating, like in general, meaning skateboarding, longboarding, roller skating, rollerblading. We say all wheels welcome. So, I mean, you can bring a bike. I don't know that anyone has ever brought a bike.
Not yet.
But scooters,
Yeah.
who cares? Yeah, whatever on wheels. And it's like, it's a women and gender nonconforming, non-binary people, trans people kind of focused group. And we meet every Wednesday evening. And that's a pretty consistent schedule, like when the weather's good. So maybe like March, April. I can't remember our first meeting this season, but like spring, just like whenever it's warm enough. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go kind of as long as we can, maybe like October, November. Like,
Awesome. Do you guys think about doing anything indoors in the wintertime?
We do.
Yeah, we've had some meetups at Q Skate Park over in Speedway, and that's an indoor skate park.
Yeah.
And we've done that before.
I was like giggling about, I feel like we're ambitious, but then, you know how it goes.
Winter does come around. We have
Yeah.
lots of
And
plans
then we're all like,
now.
I'm so sleepy, tired. Let's wait until March.
Yeah, on the one hand, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. On the other hand, too, is like maybe having something. I used to do a bike riding thing, and it would be year round, and obviously it would like curb way down in the
Sure.
wintertime. But it was I did have some cool times going out and doing it. But you only get the hardcore people out there. But I guess if it was like at a indoor place, or maybe like once a month instead of once a week in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
We're just like bad at
I'm trying to
planning, but
mansplain the whole thing already. Here's how you make your women-based skating better.
No, we get it. We also agree. We would love
Yeah.
to do more events.
How did tell me about the genesis of this, the origin?
Yeah.
How did you two come together?
Yeah.
How did you two come together at skating and the idea and everything?
I would say I don't want to talk. You can talk whenever you want. I don't want to talk over you.
No, I don't. feel like
So I learned to longboard kind of in college and would just kind of like casually do it, and didn't know like pretty much any women skaters. And so like the first like house that I lived in college with like a few girls, I like forced them all to skateboard. I like made them learn, and then we would like skate around campus, and it was very fun. And then some years later moved to Indy, lived in another house of girls, and I was like, listen, we all need to have this hobby. Like, this is very fun. We should go. We like would just go play around like in parking lots and just like in the neighborhood where we were living. And Carly and I lived together. We were roommates. And so I think I taught you how to skate,
yeah.
right?
And then Macy taught me how to skate, and it's during the pandemic.
Yeah,
So
also.
it was also really helpful to get out of the house. And
yeah.
so that was just what we did. We're like,
We were just
gonna
like, let's go to the
skate.
nearest like universities, have like great parking lots. So we'd be like, let's go there. Let's go
Just
to office
skate
parks in
around.
Carmel. Let's go like
Wherever
skate
there's
to a coffee shop.
not a pothole, rare to find.
Yeah,
So
so-
we kind of had to hunt those spots down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were like skating together for a while, and I don't know, I don't remember like exactly why we started it, but there's like a few different groups like around the US that I've seen. Like there was one in LA, there's like one in Chicago, and I was like seeing them on Instagram, and they were just like really cool. And I was like, I would love to like have this like natural community building. Like I feel like after college, at least I experienced like it's just like a little harder to meet people who have like shared interests, and you're like outside of like work or something, and you're like, where are you going to go to meet people who can like share a hobby? And so we were kind of like, I feel like this would work here. I feel like we should just start it and just like see.
Was it like a COVID fantasy? You're like, one day we'll be able to be around other humans again. Wouldn't that be
I
fun to
feel
all
like
skate
we-
together?
I feel like we talked about it before COVID.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly when.
A little bit. We did talk about it before COVID. But
Because
then
we had kind of like a group of friends, and we were like, what if we kind of like made this whole thing happen?
Yep.
And then I think it was summer 2020. Is that
Yep.
right? Or 2021?
Summer 2021. But we had been skating all during the
Okay.
pandemic. So it started then.
Okay. So we'd been like skating all together and like thinking about it for a while. And then we just like made an Instagram account, made a post, and we were like, hey, if anybody wants to come to this parking lot on a Wednesday evening and skate with people you've
didn't-
never met.
See, I made a post like that one time, and it was not well
It
received.
didn't work out.
We didn't know if anyone would show up. We
And then-
were just
yeah.
like, if it's just us, then we'll
Yeah, we'll
keep
just skate
doing
together.
what we've been
Yeah.
doing.
Because we
then
like would regularly
go
out
Yeah.
and just like skate for like a few hours. And so we were like,
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah.
no stupid questions.
So you were you were saying that you taught her how to skate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how long does that take? Like, what does that entail? Like,
I mean,
I
are
thought
you
you just put
busy this
skates on and you
afternoon?
kind
We
of
can-
either had coordination or you didn't.
Okay, so Macy taught me how to skateboard. I rollerbladed as a kid, but I had never thought about skateboarding before. And so she just taught me how to have some confidence and stand on a board. It's all just a totally new experience. And so we were very chill with it. It was just like, this is how you stand on it. This is how you cruise. And then we would cruise around.
There are like
So-
some basics, but I think a big thing is like the mental barrier, especially when you're an adult and you're like stepping on a skateboard for the first time. And
Oh,
maybe,
I just
like maybe you did it
I
in
just see
middle
like
school
months of
and like
lost
wiped
income.
out.
That you had to be on a skateboard.
But honestly, we're like pretty safe, like and like slow and like usually skate in a parking lot. I'm not trying to break a bone, not trying to get out of work, you know.
Speaking of being safe, has anybody gotten hurt during these meetups? And I'm not trying to get you guys caught I'm not trying to stop this. I'm not
honestly, no serious injuries. I'm thinking
besides scrapes, we've had
we have a first aid kit.
Yeah,
we have a first aid kit there.
Yeah.
It's part of skating, though, right?
Yeah,
little road
part of
rash,
it. And you kind of just accept the risk a little bit.
Yeah, you probably will fall.
You probably will fall, but that's like a good. I feel like it's something you kind of like don't experience as much as an adult unless you're maybe in like athletics or something. But you kind of just stop like maybe trying new things, stop like getting a little scared, getting a little uncomfortable, maybe falling is just like not part of your daily experience. So it's kind of fun. Like it feels very much like playing. Yeah. And just like youthful, like.
So I really like the idea, kind of piggybacking on what you said about like it's hard to have adult friends, like if you don't like you have a certain hobby or whatever. Like I met a lot of people through comedy, you know, like, but like there's been people that you know, I had a friend who got a pair of roller skates, and I was like, you should go do this, and like send him your information. But like, what do you do? What is kind of your guys' idea of like how to be like inclusive and how to bring people in for like first time people that show up and maybe they're like a little nervous about skating or a little nervous about being around new people? Like, what do you guys do?
I feel like we just try to be like warm. We often like recognize if somebody's there for the first time just because we have some like regulars, and Carly and I, at least one of us is there every time, and usually it's both of us. So we'll kind of like pick them out and be like, hey, is it your first time skating? And I feel like something nice about this like shared hobby is that you're not like meeting at a maybe a bar or something, or like something where you're like, so where do you work? Like you miss the weird small talk because you already have this like shared interest where you're like, how long have you been skating? Like maybe they have roller skates versus blades, and you're like, why'd you choose that? That's interesting. Like there's somebody there who probably has their same style of skating or their same equipment, and so there's kind of like some natural like entries there to make it like a little more chill. And then we have had people like come and be like, I've never skated before, like can you help me stand on a board? And like we're totally down. We have like extra boards usually and stuff like that where people can like test it out. Boards are like a little expensive. Yeah. And so we're like interested in skateboarding, but you have a longboard, like come test ours out before you buy one or something. So. Now,
do you strictly do the longboard, or do you do other like a regular traditional skateboard?
I have a skateboard. I like prefer kind of longboard, like cruising, where you're just kind of like going fast and maybe like kind of like carving in and out. But Carly actually started roller skating.
Yeah, last summer I started roller skating as opposed to skateboarding because I felt like I hit kind of a plateau with I didn't want to learn tricks on the skateboard. Yeah. And I'm obsessed with roller skating. It's so fun. I go to the park.
She's really good.
I go to the park weekly.
Now, is it roller blades or like traditional roller skates?
Traditional roller skates.
Nice.
And then I also have blades too. Yeah. So she's trying them all out.
She personally is doing all wheels well.
You know.
My closest thing to it, like I remember like when I was a little kid, friends would have like there was one kid that had like a bunch of skateboards, and you would like stand on it once and go down the driveway and be like, okay, that's fun. Yeah. And then when I was in high school, me and my friends, I feel like we tried out like a different identity every week or every month. And there was like a while where we're going to be rollerbladers. And I think we went out for like a week and we like rollerbladed, and then it was just like, well, that was fun. We tried that. And then we were going to be witches one time. We were going to start like a
spooky,
like a dude coven. And then like we went and got like a book on witchcraft, and it was like the first thing that you had to do was like everyone had to get naked and bind each other's hands. And I was like, I guess we're not going to start that dude coven, unfortunately.
Not going to happen.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So close.
So, yeah.
What got me interested in skating was Mighty Ducks. Mighty Ducks was very popular back in the day. And so I got my hockey stick, my rollerblades, and I just felt like I was like 10 feet tall. And we'd like have this little space to like do little tricks and stuff like that. Now it's over. People aren't into Mighty Ducks as much as they used to be.
Maybe there'll be a comeback.
Maybe we could. I want to start. Like, I can't start like a guy skating.
You can.
Pod.
I will say that might be every skate park.
That's what I'm saying. Just go
I
to a
don't
skate
know if
park.
this has
Start a
ever been
group.
done before.
You can
No, this
start
is
a
just
group,
for
a different
beginners.
groups. Yeah.
For re-beginners.
I do feel like also that's a huge part of our group is like it's very beginner friendly.
Okay.
Because I personally just like feel intimidated trying new things in front of people.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then you go to a park and everyone's an expert and they've probably been skating for 10 years and you're like, am I going to fall in front of all these people?
Yeah.
And maybe I should be a little more confident. But it's just like a nice like environment to have people being super supportive and
So the opposite of a skate park.
I mean, no shade to skate parks. Some of them are nice. A lot of skaters are nice, but it's just like we want to like really reduce barriers to entry, I guess. And just like make it really accessible.
That's so cool.
One of the things that I also think is cool that you guys do outside of the skating is like you seem to have some like additional kind of just meetups that you guys do for the group that sometimes won't actually be skating. Like we're gonna go see this. You guys came to the stand-up comedy show.
We saw
or,
a
like,
really killer local comedy show
well,
with some.
Get out of here.
Was Dyke Michaels on this?
Now that you mention it, I believe he was.
And you could say the same thing that you did on the table, but you said they did. How did they do?
I actually thought he was really funny.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like you're always, maybe this is just me, like you're nervous going to a comedy show. You're like, is it going to be bad?
Oh,
Are you talking about me? I am always
No, just
nervous.
in general. And so you're like, I really hope like these people that I know or like these people that I like are funny. And Tenna, who
Was
like introduced
hilarious.
us, I'd
It
never
was
heard
great.
her comedy before, and we were like, okay, she was actually really funny. So.
Oh yeah, you just skate with someone every week, and then you're like, oh, now we're gonna have to pretend that we had fun.
But it all worked out. She was actually really funny, and Dyke was also funny. So we were like, yeah, we can go on the
Absolutely.
podcast for sure.
And then I've seen like it looks like you have some like different bands and stuff that you guys have checked out. And
Yeah, we have a couple. I feel like our events kind of follow who's in the group.
Yep.
that's awesome.
So like, there's Jody Friend was like at our first
Public Universal
meetup.
Friend?
Yeah.
Public Universal
So
Friend.
we like
dropping
went to
names.
her-
I see how we're doing.
Yeah, she was at our very first Grind Culture meetup, and so we've been to a couple shows. I feel like her album release show is like what we went to recently. But yeah, so we kind of just like, I mean, like Tenna
love
was
that.
performing, and we were like, yeah, we should all go to
you
this.
guys
Like,
became like a group.
yeah, it definitely feels like a community.
It is a community, and
mean-
we want to support our people.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Fun.
Have you guys thought about doing like going to like the Harder Brunch summer camp as a group?
Ooh, tell us more.
Well, I'm gonna push
Tell us
that
some
over
details.
to Dyke. Send them over.
Well, we rented out a summer camp in Nashville, Indiana.
Okay.
It's 300 acres. It's a camp that I went to when I was a kid.
Wow.
I also worked there for like a decade.
Okay.
And I've been to events there where somebody else has rented it out for this sort of thing. And then we just kind of took all the best parts of that. And it's an adult summer camp. It's a weekend. It's August 25th, 26th, and 27th.
Okay.
And you go, and it's like one price, and then everything's included. It's like you get 5 meals. You get Upland is going to be pouring beers all weekend. You get 3 comedy shows. We're going to have House of Wolves, Tubbles, Fred Miller, and
Clint Breeze?
Clint Breeze.
And
All-
a special band too.
All
Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Yeah, Good Cop, Bad Cop. A bunch of like awesome like indie artists, and then Brent Terhune, Gwen Suckle are headlining, and then just like bunch of other comics, and then all of the counselors are comics as well.
Oh, cool.
And then like so we were talking about camp earlier, and you were like just rattling things off, and I was like, yes, we're doing that. We got s'mores, we got a bonfire, we got capture the flag,
Capture the
we
flag.
got swimming and
Swimming.
canoeing and archery and canoes, and
Canoes
it's like
again.
an adult food fight. Yeah, that's
Campfire songs.
and
Rave in the Woods.
Rave in the Woods with that. And then a bunch of surprises too. We have a bunch of stuff
Cool.
that I don't want to give away yet.
Of course.
Tickets are on sale at eventbrite.com. But yeah, very excited about that. And there are some flat surfaces there, so if you want to come and
Skate,
Cruise
free
around.
time.
yeah, rollerblade.
Yeah.
Between activities.
Yeah, there's
That
free
sounds
time,
very
so
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're very excited about that.
We're now building a ramp, a skate ramp.
Yeah, we're gonna have a half
This
pipe.
just in.
This just in.
We can
Now-
do a tutorial, a little workshop where you
We're
like
in.
sign up for.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do sick jumps out there? Does anyone ever bring a little ramp? And
Actually, yeah. Are you going to talk about
No, you can talk about
yesterday or
yesterday.
Jenny?
Oh,
'Cause
both, whatever.
We do have a skater, and she goes to the park all the time, and she has a grind rail just in her car that
Oh,
she'll
wow.
just like pull out and let people use. And then, talk about.
Yesterday, we actually had our first like event. I would say it was called Live, Laugh, Thrash, and we were at Centerpoint Brewing, and we like were on their outdoor patio, and we had like a DJ, and we had a skate ramp and like a rail, and people could just come and like skate. And it's our third birthday. This is our
Oh.
like third season of skating.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And so we were just like celebrating, and we had a little like merch sale. And so people did ramps. Carly did ramps. I have some good videos of her. Like you can either like go up and like jump, or you can like skate down and like do stuff afterwards. So it was very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool. Again, like I love that you guys are being inclusive on like what you guys like. Hey, let's like come together on something that we all enjoy instead of something that we hate or disagree. Which people don't really.
I
come
do like
together for
bringing
that.
people together on things that I hate, you know, like get everybody together. Just like if there's like one producer on the show that nobody likes, and we all come together and
Yeah.
shit on him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
There's time for both.
Just a toxic bond. Yeah.
that's the whole reason why I joined Harder Brunch was to shit on Zach.
What'd you call it? The toxic bond?
I did say that. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I like that phrase. Toxic bond.
Yeah.
That's a good
But-
band
but-
name.
Yeah.
Kind of is, or at least an album. Yeah. But I feel like we do try to do the opposite of that. We just try to hang out.
Toxic Bond kind of sounds like James Bond, but like he kind of was already
But
toxic.
like with eyeliner.
he did.
Are you trying to cancel James Bond right now?
Toxic Bond.
He's like
Bond. Toxic
this
Bond.
time with even more.
I'll have it
toxicity.
stirred, not shaken.
It's just Sean Connery playing himself.
I'll slap a woman.
Didn't he say like if they deserve it or something?
Yeah, if a woman deserves to be
Yeah.
slapped, I'll give her a slap. That was Toxic Bond.
If you watch the full interview though, it's Barbara Walters, and like you could just see like the joy in her eyes as she's just like, I got it. This is all on record.
He
This is
said
all
it.
on record. He said it.
He said
It's all on record. And then she like walks back. He's like, "Are you sure about that?" And he's like, "Yeah, she needs a slap."
Just give it a little.
you do know we are on TV.
Like, you ever hear yourself get richer? Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
That has made so much money. What do you do in your like in your civilian life away from skateboarding?
Near CL.
What do you do?
I'm a server.
Okay.
I work at a restaurant here in Indy, and I walk my dog.
Nice.
I also go skating. It really is a community.
It's a lifestyle.
It is. It's a lifestyle that I love to live. But it is a community. We have like a group chat that everyone's in, and people go skating all throughout the week, and we'll meet up just from the group. So I do that as well,
Yeah.
and it's so fun.
Does civilian count as work also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I do grant writing and event coordination.
Oh.
for an art gallery.
Let's talk after the show. We're gonna need some help.
Well, I just planned a successful small skating event. So, cheers. What else do I do? I am taking a pottery class. Yellow Door Ceramics. Highly recommend. I watch
Yeah.
TV at home. I feel like that's it.
Yellow Door Ceramics. Guys,
Yeah.
if you're listening right now, go check them out.
Sign up for a class.
Sign
They're
up for a
great.
class. They are great, is what I've heard just now.
This just in, they're great.
This Justin. So I guess I'm very like one of the things that I'm interested in is you seem to have a lot of like organic reach, right? Like
Yes.
I've kind of heard about you organically, like a lot of people that have come. You've said, do you guys have any like thoughts or ideas about growing it out, like by just continuing to do what you're doing, and if you build it, they will come, or is it like is there a bigger overall like goal as far as like what you'd like to do?
I would say there isn't a huge goal. I don't know, like we don't have a dream, at least I don't think you do,
No.
of being kind of like influencers or being like quitting our jobs and doing this full time. I think we've like seeing the original like people on Instagram that inspired grind culture a little bit in the beginning. Like some of them are huge. Like some of them are like sponsored by Adidas. Some of them have like destination camps like in another country or something where they're teaching people. But at least right now, I don't think that like super works for us. And I kind of like, I mean, we're not in LA. We're in Indianapolis. And I feel like that's just like a really different vibe. We don't have like a professional photographer or, and I kind of like, I mean, we talk about our Instagram, like how we need to be better at graphic design and just like, I don't know, stuff like that. But I kind of like the DIY approach because we want you to be meeting like normal people. Like we are normal women. There are normal people.
You don't have to get dressed up before you come.
You're not going to be like photographed necessarily at the, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to like come and perform in addition to meeting people. Like you're coming to a new place where you're meeting people, trying a new hobby in front of people, taking risks. That's like, you did it. Like that's enough.
That's enough.
And we don't want you to like also feel like you have to like perform, be great on socials. Like, I don't know. Like we want it to be like you can come and kind of experience community and like leave with like friends or people who are going to like support you in life. And I'm fine if we never get more than like 1,000 followers on Instagram. Like I feel like it's more significant like that people feel like they just moved to Indy and they don't know where to go. And then they like meet their future roommates or like something like that. So
that was Tyler Durden's philosophy too when he was doing a club. Forget what it was called, but he would keep it inclusive, and that was what made the club grow because people felt safe going there.
I don't think you're supposed to talk about it though.
Kicked. I didn't talk about it. I didn't say the club's name.
Wink, wink.
I follow the rules.
I don't think that's a rule. I don't think it's don't say the name of the club. It's don't talk about it.
Well, we could be talking about anything, you know, any given club.
Talk about any fight club.
I think you could expect a different environment. As far as
it's still in a parking lot. There's a lot less blood.
A little bit could be a little bit of blood, but
Sure.
You never know.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
But what was funny was they tried to come into his room and she's like, there's someone in here. And like Dad's like, what? Because your roommate is asleep in here. And then
please tell me you went over to their bed.
And then didn't quite believe. And then he was like, oh my God, you know, like he's drunk. This never happens, kind of thing. Like, like she did not believe him.
I swear this never happened.
Like she thought we were trying to run a train.
She's like,
that's why you wanted me to get the train whistle. That makes sense. Yeah.
I was like, this never happens, and it didn't help that he argued with him like you need to leave. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm just sleeping. Yeah, this is mine.
I was like, I thought this was part of the plan.
Join us at patreon.com/harderbrunch.
And we're back talking with Grind Culture Indy. Now, Thad, you did a costume change.
Oh, yes. I did do a costume change. Baby Got Brunch got me this onesie. And for legal purposes, I'm not going to show the whole onesie. But it does snap at the bottom.
And by legal purposes, a request that I made this morning, because that's how I first started talking to Thad today, is he walked out in an adult onesie. And my first thought wasn't he's wearing a onesie. My first thought was he got some really short underwear, and I'm just going to pretend that I didn't notice.
Oh, you didn't even think it was you thought it was just my underwear.
I was just like
tucked into you thought I tucked my shirt into my underwear.
Like, we've been roommates for 3 years. We definitely like walk around in our underwear sometimes, but
on
like
a special day.
But I've never seen him wear like what I would call bikini briefs, you know, in the house. So that was a shock.
Yeah, he changed into them for when I got here, and just so he could show it off.
Right.
And I feel like a onesie without a diaper is one of the weirdest things. Like,
well,
like it really, it seemed unbalanced
Sure.
Well,
You don't need to say that.
Subverted the expectations.
we're getting into adult baby territory. Is what's going on.
Well, it is adult baby territory, is what I was hoping. Because it's Baby Got Brunch, and it's a great event that they do at Soldier Field. So why not? I'll dress crazy for something that gives to children that need good food.
So that event's going to be in Chicago at Soldier Field this year.
Did I say Soldier Field? Victory Field. It's not in Chicago anymore.
Man, they're loving this plug.
It's not in Chicago anymore. It is in Indianapolis. We're talking, there's so many different restaurants that are there, right?
Yeah.
Name one of them.
Name a restaurant.
Well, Harder Brunch is going to be there.
Obviously, it's going to be
Yeah, we're going to be doing a live podcast
well
there.
represented.
Are you just going to be in your onesie for the podcast? Is that something people can look forward
I
to?
don't know how come. I mean,
I feel like it's a onesie among friends, like we were talking about burping among
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
I said, hey, before our guests that we've never met show up, can we make sure we got some pants on today?
yes. And I
Yeah.
said, of course, I'll put on pants. And I did. And I
Thank
am
you very
wearing
much.
pants right now. But yeah, I probably won't wear a onesie in public because like Ashley's like, oh, you got to send pictures. I'm like, this won't get me canceled, but people won't want to mess with me afterwards.
Well, I was thinking a lot about, because I always had questions anytime any of my friends wore like rompers, because I would like hang out with girls.
Sure.
And they would be
I was
wearing
thinking, I feel like girls
a
wear
romper.
onesies. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they would get drunk at a bar, and I was just like, how easy is that? And they're like, oh, it's a mess. It's
Yeah.
it's a whole
It is,
mess.
but-
Like you got to climb out of it. You gotta
I
I
take
don't
the
know
whole
if you
thing
want to
off.
know the details.
Yeah.
but-
There's
No,
no reason
yeah.
for a romper, right?
I would say waistbands. Like I considered wearing overalls today just for freedom of food. Like you don't want to be tied down by the heavy
the
waistband
expandable.
if your stomach if you're gonna eat a lot.
They're like a maternity romper. Is there?
I mean, there are maternity rompers
Yeah.
for like extra,
Yeah.
What are you laughing about, Zach?
Extra.
but there are just regular rompers.
So the problem with the onesie is where the romper is hard to take off and then
Yeah.
put back on.
Yeah.
The onesie just had like a snap in the crotch.
That doesn't seem
which
too
I think would be
complicated.
easier.
Oh, super easy. I would say too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to say about the onesie.
But
So anyway, there will be some restaurants at Soldier Field. You guys go check that
I hope
out.
this was
victory,
worth it.
right? Victory Field.
I hope we don't lose followers from this.
I'm still making fun of him.
Oh, okay. I thought we were like back telling people to go to Chicago.
The actual
I
plug.
wanna go
Go grab your tickets. Baby Got Brunch. It's year 5. It's an amazing event. Like literally, they have a whole baseball diamond's worth of stuff going on. We're going to be doing live podcasts there.
They're gonna raffle a ticket from the camp, summer camp.
You can win a free ticket to summer camp if you go and enter the raffle.
Yeah,
Also,
or just buy a ticket.
may or may not be wearing an adult onesie all day. You're gonna have to go to find out.
I
to
actually
find
might. They
out.
could convince me to do it. I could be pretty much be convinced to wear anything. One year I did a what was it? Fishnet summer.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that failed tremendously.
Why?
No, I was thinking there's going to be like you guys are trying to get a big group together.
He was trying to start a groundswell.
Oh,
Yeah. And there was only
Everyone
like
was gonna be
3
like, yeah.
to 4 people that participated,
In Fishnet Summer.
and I had to buy people fishnets. It just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in your heart of hearts, did you hope that it would be a few more women that would catch the wave?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't impressed when I got a fishnet.
Was it mainly dudes with a similar body type?
Just in one of my hearts, I would want more women. But it was mostly hairy men named Dustin Burger.
They were like, yes, Fishnet Summer.
yeah, it was.
I've been waiting for this.
And I got
Finally.
sexually harassed a lot in the net when I would go out in public. I would go to Ollie's and get spanked.
Well, just wait till you put that onesie on.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. Okay.
Watch out. I don't know.
It's time for the Smoking Goose brunch breakdown. Smoking Goose is, of course, one of our wonderful sponsors. It's a high-end deli and meadery located on Dorman Street, and they have this is where I get all my fancy lunch meat that I be talking about. Smoking Goose.
That's what his burps smell like, smoking goose.
So we always try to do a menu. We always try to keep the guests in mind, or maybe it's a holiday or something like that. But the only thing that I knew about you were you're both skaters, and so I was trying to think. Like I had a lot of not good ideas at first.
What were they?
Well, I was trying to think of like famous women skaters from like film and TV, and then maybe and I was just like,
were there any?
Yeah, well, there's Elliot Page was in one, and the Roller Girl, and I was like, we've fallen off.
Yeah.
There's two. But then I just started thinking about my skate memories from a kid, and that was like being at a roller rink. I mean, I feel like there was like something that you would take a field trip sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there was like different reasons you would end up there. Sometimes a random birthday party or whatever. And it was funny because like even in the like up into my 20s, I would go to a rave at the old roller rink that I used to go to as a kid, and it was exactly the same. It never changed.
They don't.
But
The
I
like
was,
carpet with the kind of neon stuff.
and it's like a lot of gum in the carpet. It's a very particular smell of the roller rink bathroom.
Feet from the rental shoes. Yeah.
I always wonder about like there was the good ones had a DJ like the DJ going on that was like calling the shots and everything.
The good ones had a DJ that didn't have a good life going on.
The better the DJ, the worse their life.
Not the better the DJ, the better their skating rink, the worse problems the DJ had. And he would confide in like young kids.
He would start like working it into the Up next is a group skate. You know who doesn't like to be in a group? My ex-wife. Yeah. Linda.
Linda would never.
I mean, that's where you got your cigarettes underage, though, is what I'm trying to say.
Go to the roller rink.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you a cigarette.
I feel like this is a very specific experience you had.
I only went to one.
That guy got arrested.
It was called Happy Valley. And
Jail now.
he was not happy.
So I wanted to take some of the foods that you would, I guess, traditionally see at a roller rink concession stand. And I had some in mind, and then it was kind of fun because I just started kind of quizzing people. I was like, hey, what do you think of roller rink food? And people started giving me different ideas. Most of them were pretty much the same. But one of the things that I was really excited about was snow cones. Snow cone / slushy, something that I think was always kind of there in the background of roller rink. And I wanted to put the Harder Brunch twist on it, so we made ours boozy, or you can at least make it boozy if you'd like to. And so I made way too much syrup for the amount of people that are here. I have enough. So I could probably put on a 100-person snow cone party if I wanted to right now.
Wow.
Bring them to summer camp.
So much. We might do that. We have a snow cone booth. But I did blueberry and pineapple, and I made them from scratch. Like I didn't go like buy syrup. Like I got real fruit and like boiled it down. And then we borrowed a shave ice machine, which is really fun. Like I also have a lot of memories as being a little kid and going like we had like shave ice like kiosks in our neighborhood. Did you have that?
Not in my neighborhood, but definitely around. Yeah, I remember going to some.
I remember there was one way too close to my house for a little fat kid because I would like dig in my grandma's couch and just it was like I think $1.75 or I forget what it was, but it was like it was enough money you could find in the house and then jump on the bike and then ride up and then you would get like the big one that had like the ice cream in the bottom of it and then they would just put all the different it was amazing. So a lot of happy memories of those. And then we also did a bacon infused popcorn with would you toss that in bacon fat?
Well, I popped the popcorn in bacon fat, and then we tossed it with the smoking goose bacon as well.
Delightful,
So-
delectable,
it
little
was
crunchy
delicious, yeah.
bacon bits. Amazing.
Obviously, it's always the same shitty popcorn at a roller rink, but I wanted to put a Harder Brunch twist on it. And then, man, some of the best hot dogs I could say I have had in recent memory.
I was super stoked about that one. So I did my take on like a coney dog. So instead I did a sweet chili garlic dog. I made the beef with sweet chili garlic sauce. I did a hoisin glazed hot dog and then sriracha mayo over top and then some green onions.
I have to say this, and like this happens a lot on Harder Brunch. I'm like, oh, this was the best hot dog or fill in the blank I've ever had. That was the best hot dog I've ever had in my life.
Probably the most memorable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that's
the
awesome.
flavor was so unique. It was so like, I think the
flavor.
table was like silent. We were all
Yeah.
like very, very
Which is
focused on the
crazy
dog.
when Tenna's in the room for that to be true.
Yeah.
And then, of course, what roller rink menu would be complete without nachos? I used the Smoking Goose chorizo is like, it's just like some of my favorite. I don't know what it is. There's a little less paprika in it. It's like usually when you cook any kind of sausage, there's all this leftover. It's like the perfect amount of like grease to meat ratio. I feel like when you're done. And then I made a beer cheese out of the Upland wheat.
What?
Beer. And then how many sponsors can I put in a dish?
I mean,
Sponsor
you did it all,
dish.
yeah.
And then candied some jalapenos, and then did some like house chips or whatever. And then I put on what Zach said was an inappropriate amount of cheese on it.
It was a lot. So he had, I don't know, roughly a gallon of cheese back there.
Wow.
And he puts like half of it on there, loads it up, and then goes to finish it off with more. And I mean, I like cheese, but
Well, time out. Why did you choose the wheat beer for that cheese?
So I used to do the beer cheese on my food truck, and I would always use like a wheat beer. And
Is it more like frothy?
yeah.
I think it's just like flavor profile wise, it always seemed to be complimentary of it, and it actually turned out very well. It's always a little bit different depending on the beer and the cheese, and how smoky it is. But I thought it was pretty good.
Like you wouldn't want to use a Breaking Away.
You could.
Speaking of Breaking Away, Breaking Away Upland beer is my favorite beer in the world, actually. If you're not drinking Breaking Away, you should probably be arrested if you're drinking anything else at all. At least have it in your refrigerator. Breaking Away. Make your dreams come true forever.
And don't get arrested for drinking the wrong beer.
Correct.
And then obviously the roller rink pizza, I feel like, is another staple. I built a pizza oven last summer that I saw like on TikTok or something or on Instagram, and it was like, build a backdoor pizza oven for $50, and it was like, and I'm like the least handy person ever, and I went to the store and like built it for $50, and I feel like we've got like 4 or 5 uses out of it so far.
Yeah, no, we had a whole pizza day where we did like 5 different pizzas, and then we've used it at least 4 other times.
So it's definitely paid for itself. And I there's something about like the crust that comes out of the oven is like better than like anything I could do in my oven. Zach made the crust. He always does a really good job with the dough.
You're a good crust dude.
I'm gonna do good crust, dude. But honestly, the toppings on that one, did you already say what you did?
No, I did a butter and mussels pizza, which basically was like, the sauce was basically like a compound butter made out of just all the stuff that you would normally eat when you eat mussels. So it was like all the flavorings, and then put that into a compound butter, and then separately topped it with more mussels, whole mussels. So there was no cheese on it, but it was kind of, I think one of you said it was kind of like an etouffee kind of vibe. I wasn't sure how much it would hold together, like how much of it was butter. Like I thought it was just gonna be like a liquidy mess, but it actually kind of held together like a sauce. Like,
absolutely.
It was, and that's when I built this bougie like pizza oven in the backyard. Like that's what I thought we were gonna make, and then like we've made some fun pizzas, but like
That's the best pizza I've had in a while, and I mean, I was super excited about that when you told me the idea for it, and that's been one of my favorite things that you've made, I don't know, in a couple months.
thank you.
What did you guys think of it?
Oh, I thought it was so good.
I loved it.
It was like there was like a spice element, like the etouffee style like sauce. I felt like was so good and like rich, and then the mussels were like
Yeah.
little perfect.
I gotta
pop on
say,
top.
it's very fun. I like the challenge of cooking for anybody, but it's very fun. Both of you were like, no restrictions. It's just like we could just go gloves off and do whatever we want. Like that's always fun for me because like even Zach would you ask me like you're like what are the restrictions this week? I was like there are none.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I like a little bit of restriction, like in the form or in the theme, so because it breaks me out of what I would just automatically do.
Okay.
But it is kind of fun when you know that they aren't picky.
Yeah.
Because I guess the other thing is if they have like 2 or 3 things that they're particular about, you know that it's more than that. And there's just things
That's
that
just
they
what they're
didn't-
comfortable
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
We've had some people come on, and look, whatever. Like everyone has their different tastes. We've had some people come on, and they'd name like 2 things that they weren't into,
Sure.
and it was like they just didn't like food.
Oh yeah.
Like, and
You're
then
like
when
you
we
want
got
a plain meal.
it was like I like eat hot dogs and chicken tenders, and I'm
Sure.
like, oh, you should have just told me that. Like we could have.
We'd have made it, ordered
Yeah.
it.
It's a weird form of torture to, go over to somebody's house and have to sit through like a menu planned for you when you don't like anything. You got to pretend to like it.
Yeah.
Is there? You gotta have something that you do. Is there nothing that
Oh, for
you
sure. I said
absolutely-
olives. I don't
Oh,
really
yeah,
like olives.
She did say that.
Did we have any
I
olives
did.
today?
No, but I said I would try them.
Yeah.
if they
Yeah,
were
but even then you were like,
essential.
if it's well prepared, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm open to it.
yeah.
If it's needed in
But,
the dish,
yeah.
you could do it.
I like joke about it being my millennial superpower that I like am not lactose intolerant or like gluten intolerant
Yeah.
or
Bro, my mom
anything like that.
my mom
So-
made me drink milk when I was a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
It was there for every meal. It was a lot of
yeah.
milk.
I drink so much milk all the time. So strong bones, skater.
Gotta have it.
Oh, you guys should do
It's full circle.
got milk commercials.
Big milk. Call us.
Get him.
How about you?
No, maybe eggplant.
Eggplant?
When it's prepared in certain ways, I don't like it. But I really love trying a bunch of new food.
Yeah.
And I loved the food today. It was the best food I've
Yeah.
had in a long time.
We saw your
It's so
Instagram.
good.
I feel like we were like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be good.
Oh, you guys were
Yeah.
prepared. You were.
We looked a little, did a little
Yeah.
scan
That's
through.
smart.
So, looks good.
Tell us about that dessert real quick.
So I chose, like, for the desserts, I chose Sour Patch Kids. 1, because I thought it would be difficult to make a dessert out of, and 2, because it's my son's favorite candy. And there's a lot of things that I make to bring to the podcast, and then, I kind of feel bad because he doesn't get to try them or whatever. And so, he definitely got to have it. But I made cupcakes out of the Sour Patch Kids. I chopped them up and put them in a cupcake mix, and then I mixed like sugar and citric acid together to make the sour sprinkle that went on top of the icing and everything.
Yeah.
And it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. I had actually bought ingredients to do a secondary dessert
Just in case.
because I had only kind of 50-50 faith in it.
Yeah.
No, it was so good. I feel like you don't get a lot of like sour baked goods.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I've ever had one.
I don't know if
so
there's even
super
like a
interesting.
really need for them in the world.
Well, there's a,
Well, I was thinking of like a key lime pie might have
yeah.
like a similar
Oh,
tart
okay.
effect, but
there's
in terms of cupcake, I don't think so.
a weird amount of Sour Patch Kids desserts online.
Really?
Like a weird cult. There's a cereal for Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, I
and
didn't know
it's
that.
terrible.
I did see Sour Patch Oreos at the store one time.
Did you get them?
I didn't
You
get them.
Okay.
No. I kind of wish I had just to try
Just to
them.
try.
but-
Like the inside?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm
Inside.
guessing.
Yeah.
But they were really good, and like the sour dust, I felt like really brought it home.
Yeah.
Here's my question: do you guys really like that?
I did like it.
What did you think, Thad?
We didn't. come
I
on the
thought they
podcast
did
to
not
lie.
like it
Oh, okay.
because I was watching everybody's faces and everybody's faces were like,
Well, that was the sour.
It was the
and,
sour.
and they were like, oh,
You're
this is sour.
I mean,
and like that kept being brought up. And I was like, that's not what you want to hear during dessert.
what,
I mean,
were they very sour? I didn't really
I would
try
say
a
they
bite
were
of one.
quite sour.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But I would say it was like a fun experience.
Okay.
It also was just the frosting.
was
Like
fun.
the
The
frosting was the
sprinkles.
most
So once
sour.
you got like further down.
Well, yeah,
it-
first they're sour, then they're
Yeah.
sweet.
I feel like they're being
Then they're
really
gone.
nice. I feel like they're being nice. I was like, this
I feel
is
like-
impressive to all my taste buds. And I was like, I am impressed, like how sour it is and how much fun I'm having. Because it reminded me of the warheads. You used to dare people to have warheads. It was like, I was like, I can't finish this
But I mean, that's a fun experience.
out of respect for myself.
I hear that a lot. Like people are like, "This was such a fun menu that I couldn't finish
Well,
it."
I couldn't finish it because of the taste. It was too sour for me. I'm like, this is it. This is gonna hurt me later.
People say that about this podcast. They're like, it was so good. I only needed like the first 5 minutes, and then I was like, I don't need any more. I think I got it.
I was very impressed with it, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I love your compliments, Dad.
What did your son think?
So he was super. Well, first, he was a little upset that he wasn't going to get the whole tray of them, and I was like, and he doesn't even eat a lot of them. Like he literally picked the Sour Patch Kids out of the frosting and the cake and left the rest. So I think he was just happy that I made it a Sour Patch Kid cupcake.
Yeah.
That he was, that he felt seen. So
Totally.
That's awesome. I love that.
I like how you made it seem you're like, we do these elaborate brunches and I never feed my children.
Well, no, so there was one day that like I did Tyrannosaurus cookies, and they were cookies that were like literally this big. Okay. And I made little ones so that he could have some cookies.
Yeah.
But he saw me carrying these big cookies out, and he's like, I want that one.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, first, this is too much for you, and then this is for my adult friends who really need all of these, all of this candy and sugar. So like, this isn't for kids.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like a future therapy session. It's just like my dad would always make all this. One time he made giant cookies, and I was like, that has to be for me. Who else could it be for? But it was that goddamn podcast again. What do you guys? What are you looking forward to the rest of the summer?
Other than skating,
Yeah.
what are you doing this summer?
That
You went on vacation.
I went on vacation.
already.
Yeah. So
Summer's over.
We had our event already. I do feel like it's a little over. We were looking forward to our event. We just did it.
Yep.
I mean, Harder Brunch Summer Camp.
Harder Brunch Summer Camp, for example.
Obviously,
August 25th
we're
to 27th.
so excited about the Harder Brunch Summer Camp.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
For sure. What about concerts? Have you guys got? Because you were talking to me about how you studied linguist.
Yeah, I'm going to a very on-brand concert this week, actually, at the Vogue. It's Altan Goon. They're a really cool Turkish band, and they are coming to the Vogue in Indianapolis for some reason on Friday.
I don't know.
Don't quote me. This will probably already be. It'll probably already be over by the time it comes out, maybe. But
well, she studied music and language in college.
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, linguistics.
Do you ever have any bands come out and play like while people skate?
We have not. We had a couple DJs at our event yesterday, Silo Sounds and Brooke Billions, and they were amazing.
They did so good.
They were like so good. Like the music was perfect.
Did not
every
miss.
song.
Yeah.
But that's the only like music event we've had.
We've talked about it several times.
Because it would be very fun. But
yeah.
Should team up with like Girls Rock or something.
Yeah, they do like camps and stuff too, right?
Yeah, but like and I think you catered a Girls Rock before, right? Have you catered a Girls Rock event?
I don't think so.
I did when I had my food truck. I remember, but I was also just trapped on side the food trucks. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but I know it was a lot about like young girl musicians and stuff like that, and like I don't know.
They do sound super cool.
Yeah. So what is I guess what I meant was, what does the rest of the summer look like for Grind Culture?
For Grind Culture. Okay. I don't know if we have any big plans. I think we'll like keep meeting weekly, as long as weather allows, which could be like late into the fall.
I hope so. Yeah.
I feel like the event we had yesterday was our big summer plan. And then I don't know that we have anything big coming up, just the usual.
Just our every Wednesday.
Nice.
It's really fun.
Well, you two seem very consistent, which is good. It's a big part of it, honestly, and welcoming. You both seem very welcoming and chill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the idea of like come at your skill level, and just come and have fun. Like I like that you don't have to get dolled up or like we're gonna be there videotaping you your first time. I'll tell you what, I tried to do a paddleboard for the first time in my entire life, and Thad was videotaping me, and I was like
intimidating.
I was like, I can feel the camera on me, and I immediately fell off my board.
Oh no, pressure.
Yeah, I also have no balance.
That's okay. I feel like it's just a practice. like matter of practice.
I got back up and then
Okay.
I paddleboarded.
Okay.
Okay,
There you go.
see?
And that's
Personal
like the first
success.
rule of getting on any type of board is just getting back up on it after you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just having one of your friends videotape and mock you while you're.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
that's the thing nowadays. People want to see people fall. Like people want to see. That's
I mean,
it.
America's Funniest Home Videos, I feel like has been
Really
like
shaped
I
the
grew up
nation.
on that for sure, but
Yeah.
no, we don't want to. We don't want to see people fall unless it's in service of
Yeah.
personal growth.
There could be a TikTok that you guys could do. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like once people start getting comfortable getting filmed after they've been ingratiated,
I don't like this.
where it's just it's called
Let's see.
grind and fall, and like
Okay.
and you guys just are taping women falling
Yeah.
on their face after
Sure.
getting on the board, and views are gonna go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be chauvinists. Yeah, there's gonna be people that don't like women, but your
They
views
deserve it.
About
You
it,
know,
yeah.
your
stuff like
views
that.
are going to be astronomical, and it's not about women falling. It's about you guys coming
It's about
together
everyone falling.
and bonding. Yeah, it's about everybody falling. Yeah, we've all fallen.
We all fall.
and that's what people are watching fall videos for, is empathy.
is that true?
I'm going to say it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the vibe we're going for, but we'll definitely consider it.
Well,
I like the ideas. Yeah.
Have you ever broken any bones skating?
Not skating. I only broke one bone, and it was on an inflatable obstacle course.
oh, where was this?
It was in
Military.
middle school. It was actually the first day of 8th grade.
Oh,
RIP. And we had so the high schoolers, or maybe like seniors even, would have this like big back to school bash. And they had like inflatables. They were all like hanging out in the parking lot. And then the 8th graders got to use it for like an hour a day because they were like, just a little bit of permission, a little bit of excitement. And so I like was racing, and then you dive over like the last part where you're like, it's like a wall, And so I just dove and then just like landed on my wrist, and then it broke.
You broke your wrist?
I did, yeah. But that's the only bone I've broken.
you're probably the coolest 8th grader though that year. You got to have a cast, right? People sign it.
Yeah, I don't know that it had a positive or negative effect, to be honest.
Oh.
I mean, negative in terms of like made things harder, but I don't know that like socially.
I've always had
It
this
had a
like
huge
theory in my
effect.
head, and like I'm just probably dumb. I always had a theory like the kids that like broke their arms or got pretty hurt pretty badly at some point, like always turned out to be the coolest kids because they for a season of their life they had to be humble. And they had to have someone help them carry their tray. They had to use their people
Interesting.
skills. And so
Yeah.
Maybe.
I remember there's a kid in my high school who had leukemia.
yeah.
Oh, same.
But was he
same
pretty?
vibe.
Did he make? Was he pretty cool?
No, he passed away.
He could have been cool and passed away.
Well,
No?
I mean,
Okay.
his people skills are probably better now. Look at all those people he's with in heaven. I don't know.
That was an interesting way to go.
I didn't think you could take the leukemia joke to a worse place.
Well,
But you did.
I didn't say hell. look at all those friends he's making in hell. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Have you ever broken a bone?
I have not. Well, some toes.
Oh.
But those don't really count, I feel like. You
Toes.
can't do anything about it. But
Well,
yeah.
Do you put your foot in a cast or not?
I mean, they're like the little ones. So
How'd you break your toes?
just living life.
hanging
Just
out.
being like
Smashing him with a hammer?
that was like one injury that my parents were like, we don't need to go to the doctor for that. So I don't know.
Oh.
Do people get their toes in casts? Do you know? Has
I've
anyone
never
broken a
so,
toe?
but I
Foot
didn't.
cast.
Okay,
I don't know if
yeah.
I've ever seen a toe
I feel like you
cast.
could do a little tiny splint. maybe.
Splint.
Yeah.
I had a middle. I've never broken a bone, but I had a kickball related injury once, and I like smashed my middle finger, and they put it like
Yeah, like
a
a
little
Oh,
splint.
yeah.
splint or whatever, but it's definitely like crooked. Like
Ooh, that one.
it's definitely
Spot the finger.
yeah, it was definitely broke. And
Okay.
it took like a year to like heal right.
And you were more humble afterwards, correct?
I didn't have any more friends. I had the exact same amount of friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
when it started. I actually had one less friend because my friend passed away of leukemia.
Well, hey,
That was just for Zach. I apologize.
This goes out to
That
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's on the beach in hell.
Zach loves cancer jokes
I love them, yeah.
because he beat cancer, and so he calls everyone that didn't a loser.
Because I can say that. I can say that.
You just got canceled.
Can you drop a beat for me there? Thank you so much for being on the show today. Where can people find and follow Grind Culture?
We're on Instagram at Grind Culture Indy, and that's where we do all of our like announcements and where we post like every time we're meeting and any events that are going on.
Now, if some boomer lady just wants to show up, she doesn't have Instagram, where could she or they roll up?
Yeah, so we meet pretty much
IRL.
every Wednesday at Circle City Industrial Complex at their big parking lot. We meet from 7 to 9, and if she doesn't have Instagram, she can probably assume if it's not raining that we're there.
Yep.
Nice. Daddy is Jake.
Hi. You guys can find me at Breaking Bad Kids. Every kid deserves a broken bone to get a little bit more humble. And that's where you can find me, at Thad McKee, where I'm starting this foundation to help everyone.
Zach Rome.
And if you or someone you know has been injured by Thaddeus and his organizations, definitely check out. If you haven't gotten a ticket to summer camp, I would recommend you get on it because it's going to sell out and it is going to be an awesome event of the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We also have a Patreon, which is a huge Patreon library of all of our after brunches. Patreon.com/Harder Brunch. Starting off only $3, it gets you access to our vast Patreon library. And you also get first dibs on a lot of cool stuff. We released buy one, get one free tickets first to our Patreon subscribers. You get a lot of benefits. Go check that out. Thank you guys so much for listening, and go check out Grind Culture Indy, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.